The Dwell Design Leaders film series is brought to you by HP. The computer is personal again.
Back in 1996, a group of neighbors had been trying to address a lot of problems in their community. What they wanted was a community that felt safe, a place where people respected each other, and where it was vibrant and resilient. One morning, after a series of drive-by shootings, the neighbors were talking about how did we get here and how could it be different? And that conversation ended up turning into an organization that became Our United Villages. Our United Villages became the seed of an idea that got planted, and right after that idea was planted, it started to grow the ReBuilding Center. Our United Villages' goal was to create a model that we could give away to the community. We regularly host visitors from all over who come in and shadow us and look at what we're doing here. And our hopes is that they'll be inspired and they'll take that passion and bring it back to their communities, and more of this will be happening all over the country. The entire ReBuilding Center, the entire design, where you see all those used building materials, are all from the local region. And we really made it a point to not look for architecturally high-end materials. We wanted what society would most likely look at as the marginal cast-offs. So everything that you see in the building is made from materials out of our very own inventory. There's vinyl windows in there if you look. There's old Victorian vintage pieces. There's things from old shacks that were built back in the 1800s. It's all there. One of the things that was important to us is give something back to the community. When you walk up, we have this one area we call the community gathering space. The community gathering space is a place where anybody can stop, sit down 24 hours, 7 days a week, talk with each other, exchange ideas, and just hang out. One of the things we did there was cob construction. It's non-toxic, it's made of sand, dirt, and hay, and this is a recipe for building walls. And if you look really closely, the texture of those trees was created by spoons. And it was really fun because kids, adults, people were just all pressing these spoons and creating the texture for the trees, and it really worked. And that whole piece really represents what this whole thing's about. So when you see the ReBuilding Center, immediately you see that there's a lot going on. We really try to encourage people to come up with creative ways to reuse their materials, but the goal here is to get people to share what they've done with these materials and for other people to come in and be inspired by what they're doing. And we actually give them a 10% coupon off if they bring back a photo from something they reused here. Hi, Ella Rose. You look beautiful today. All this is made 100% out of the materials that we get from our job sites or from the community. This is the wood that's behind the walls of our plaster and sheetrock in a lot of the older homes, and underneath our floorboards. It's really clear vertical grain, old growth lumber. You can see here, we really don't try to hide the imperfections or the nail holes. We really think that tells part of the history and story of where these materials came from. So what the ReBuilding Center does is we take materials, building materials that society was saying was waste or was a liability, and we turn them into an asset. And it's kind of a perfect metaphor for what Our United Villages is promoting out in the community. What we're saying is that we have the resources and we have the capacity in our own backyard to make a difference in the world. And in this case, we're able to benefit the environment, the community, and even our local economy off of resources that already exist. And there's just so much there that we'll never know, but you know when you look at it that life happened around all these materials. And so I can feel that energy, and it's pretty intense.